Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to my video, Jack and Bills. For this episode, we will take a look at the Thai Baht. First of all, the Thai Baht is the official currency of the Kingdom of Thailand, formerly known as the Kingdom of Siam. The current exchange rate as of when this video was created is 31.63 baht to $1. Now let's take a look at my collection. We got the 20, the 50, the 100, the 500, and the 1000 baht. At first glance, you will see that they are all different colors, so you can tell how much baht you have just by looking at the color. You can also tell them apart because of their sizes. Yes, they do come in different sizes, so in this case, the amount of money directly translates to how long your bill is, with the 20 baht being the shortest and the 1000 baht being the longest. More money, more length. Alright, let's go over some of the features for the front and back before we look at the bills individually. So here we have the front. You'll see that it's the same portrait for every bill except for this 500 baht, and that's because the one I have is the older design, the 16th edition. Thailand does have a monarch, so one way of honoring the king is to put their portraits on the money. The portrait on this 500 baht is the former king, Rama IX, who passed away back in 2016, and a new set of banknotes have been produced with the portrait of the current king, Rama X. These right here, the current design, is the 17th edition. Aside from the king's portrait, you also have the amount in Thai numbers right here, and if you look closer, you can see the decorations within the numbers. The amount also comes in typical Arabic numbers right here in the middle of this floral design, smaller ones here kind of hidden in the background, and then two sets of micro prints, one right here by the large numbers, and the other set next to the king's neck. Here we have the official seal of the current king, and below that we have the Thai government and the baht amount in the written Thai language. This right here is the official emblem of Thailand, the Garuda. The Garuda is a Hindu Buddhist beast, and it is used as the national emblem because Thailand's official religion is Buddhism. Next to the Garuda is the anti-copying pattern. Each bill has a unique serial number, both in Thai numbers and in Arabic numbers. There's also a security seal that not only reveals the amount, but also changes colors depending on which angle you're looking at. But the main color does match the banknote itself. So if you're looking directly at the security seal for the green 20 baht, it's green like the bill itself, but when you tilt it, it turns kind of blue and purple. Each bill also has a watermark where you'll have to put it up against a light source, and it will reveal the king's portrait along with the bill's amount in Arabic numbers. Last, look over here. You won't notice anything at first, but it's kinda obvious there's something hidden here, right? If you look at it from different angles, you will see the bill's amount in numbers once again. So there are tons of indications on how much the bill is worth, so it's hard to get it wrong. Now let's look at the back. I love collecting money because of the beauty of the design, but another reason is because some banknotes, like the Thai Baht, will tell you the story of its country through the artwork. Thailand is currently under the Chakri Dynasty, and including the current king, there are a total of 10 kings that reigned over Thailand during this dynasty. Each bill has 2 kings, and a little picture next to them that represents their significance and contributions to the kingdom, which I'll go over in a little bit. First, let's look at the recurring themes. So once again, we have the Garuda. This right here is the Chakri emblem, which is a throwing disc and a trident. On the top right corner over here, we have the anti-copying patterns again. We also have the amount in Thai and Arabic numbers, but unlike the front, the Arabic numbers only shows up once. There's also 2 sets of micro prints in the back, one hidden somewhere in this circular design over here. Except I couldn't find it in the 500 and 1000 baht. So if you know where it is, let me know in the comment section below. And the other one is over here by this frame around the kings to the left, runs all the way down here. You'll see a strip of micro prints with the baht amount. And last, this written note down here tells you it is illegal to reproduce, so don't do it. Alright, now we will look at each bill individually. First up, we got the green 20 baht. I pretty much went over all the important features in the front, so let's just focus on the back. As mentioned before, each bill has 2 kings and an image of their significance to the kingdom. On the left, we have King Pratbudayot Phachulalok, the first ever king of the Chakri Dynasty who came into power in 1782. He gets the Grand Palace because he believed the new dynasty deserved the new royal palace, and it was under his reign that the palace was built. The Grand Palace became the king's residence until 1925, and aside from being one of the main tourist attractions in Bangkok, it's also used for important ceremonial events as well. On the right, we have Pratbudat Lodla Nabalai, the second king. He was a poet and an artist, and very keen in literature. His reign was known as the golden age of literature, and for that, he gets the mural of a scene from the Inao. which was translated and rewritten as Thai poems from the Japanese Panji stories by himself. Next up, we got the blue 50 baht. This right here is the third king, Nang Klao, who looks just like the first king. I thought they were the same person until I really started paying attention and doing some research, but anyways, he was very good at financial management and doing business with other countries. He actually served as the Minister of Trade and Foreign Affairs when he was just a prince. The ship next to him represents his excellence in foreign trades. Next to him is the fourth king, Mongkut, known as the father of science and technology because he embraced Western innovations and initiated the modernization of Thailand. He administered cultural and educational reforms where he introduced Western geography, astronomy, and other subjects. He gets the summer palace which was built during his reign, known as Prat Nangkon Kiri, located in Phetchaburi. There is an observatory in the palace which reiterates his dedication in astrology. Fun fact, as mentioned before, Buddhism is the official religion of Thailand. As tradition, all kings are required to spend some time as a monk for, usually a few months, but Mongkut took it to a different level. He was a monk for 27 years before his half-brother Nang Klao, the third king, died, and then Mongkut became the king. After he became the king, Mongkut had a total of 82 kids, so think about that. He saved up a whole load of seeds and energy by being celibate for almost 3 decades, then unleashed the ultimate mating bomb. Once you start, you just can't stop. The ultimate pastime for men, even if you were a monk for 27 years. Moving on to the red 100 baht, we had the 5th king, Chulalongkorn, on the left. He was the first Thai monarch to visit Europe for diplomatic reasons, and also to learn about useful Western ideas that could help improve Thailand. He believed that modernization was important, so he also sent his kids to Europe for education. For his achievements in foreign affairs, we get an image of him in a fancy car rolling down the streets of Europe. Well, Norway to be exact. On the right, we had the 6th king, Vajidavud. He established military academies, organized Thailand's defense, and had a huge military influence on the country. He also founded a Thai Boy Scout, so we get an image of him riding a horse. Aside from his military influences, this image also shows his dedication on improving the education in Thailand. Like how he also founded the first university of the kingdom, the Chulalongkorn University, named after his father, the 5th Chakri King. Alright, now let's go over the purple 500 baht. As mentioned before, the 500 baht I have is the previous design, the 16th edition, so it has a different theme from the other bahts I have. With that said, let's take a quick look at the front and the back. In the front, we have the 9th king, Bhumibol Adulyadej, and we will talk more about him later. Like the current design, we have the amount in both Thai and Arabic numbers. Here's the Garuda once again, and the Thai government underneath it. There's also 2 stripes, one over here, which is kind of hard to see, but if you look closely, you'll see silver 500s in both Thai and Arabic numbers again. The stripe on the right is easier to see since it's fat and silver, straight up in your face. There's the official seal of the 9th king inside the fat stripe if you look closely. Now the back. I don't have too much to describe except for the security seal, and we have the first king again, Prabhudayot Chiralok, and the Grand Palace once again. This right here I found a bit interesting where the amount is cut in half, and the other half is actually in the front. I was able to find microprints and it's inside over here. I'm sure all the other 16th edition banknotes have microprints somewhere in the back as well. The 16th edition also has a watermark with King Bhumibol's portrait, but unlike the current edition, the amount is in Thai numbers rather than Arabic numbers. Since the current Thai bahts have such a nice theme going on, I didn't want to skip the current 500 baht just because I don't have it. So here's an image I stole from the internet. On the left, we have the 7th king, Prajatipok, who was the last absolute monarch and the first constitutional monarch. He knew that political change was necessary if the monarch was to be preserved, so he actually abdicated the throne, the only Chakri monarch to do so, and this was a major event in Thailand's history. Here we have the image of him signing the constitution of the Siam Kingdom in 1932. Next to him is the 8th king, Ananda Mahido, the youngest Chakri king to take over the throne at 9 years old. Remember how Thailand became a constitutional monarch under the previous king? So, there was a political party known as the Kana Rasadon that was trying to run the country. They were a huge mess, so when King Ananda Mahido grew up, the people of Thailand really rooted for him, hoping the king would come back and make Thailand great again. One of his most remembered activities was a highly successful visit to Bangkok's Chinatown, which was intended to improve the relations between Bangkok's ethnic Chinese and Thai people. This image shows him visiting Chinatown. This is him right there, and next to him right here is his brother, the eventual 9th king, Bhumibol Adulyadej. King Ananda Mahido had great potential in becoming a great king, but unfortunately died at the age of 20. So he's the youngest Chakri King to take the throne, but also the youngest to die. He was shot in his bedroom, but to this date, no one knows who shot him, how he was shot, and why he was shot. Last, we have the brown 1000 baht featuring the 9th king, Bhumibol Adulyadej, who is perhaps the most beloved Thai king of all time, the People's King. He reigned over Thailand for a little over 70 years, making him the longest reigning monarch in Thailand and the second longest in known human history, behind King Louis XIV. And you would think that kings spent most of their time chilling in their palace, but King Bhumibol spent a lot of time working on social and economic development, especially in the common people's areas. Although he was a king, he lived as though he was a regular citizen. He did not mind getting down and dirty for the people, which is why he had such a godlike perception. This image is him getting up close and personal receiving a lotus from an elder woman. The picture is super iconic throughout Thailand, indicating his kindness visiting people in rural Thailand and his respect to the elders. Next to him, we have the 10th and current king, Vajiralongkorn. He's only been king for 4 years, so it's still kinda early to see what kind of contributions he has for Thailand. He is a decorated general though, so in the front of the bill, you will see him in his fancy military uniform with wings, since he's also a certified pilot too. This image seems like he's plotting some sort of military activities, but it's actually him looking at the map of rural Thailand for agricultural development projects, trying to continue his father's legacy. And with that, not only do we get to see the beautiful artwork of the Thai Baht, we also get a glimpse of Thailand's history from 1782 and on. Again, I did not go into too many details about the banknotes, but if you do know some fun facts or secrets about the Thai Baht, please share it in the comment section below so we can all learn. Alright guys, so that is it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys next time.